also find a session reference guide in the reference during today's presentation. Thanks again.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Frontier Transformation Week. I am Mayank Wadhwa, and I lead Microsoft Business across ASEAN. Before we begin, let me anchor why ASEAN is at a true inflection point. What you've just seen is a snapshot of a region with significant scale and momentum. Over 650 million people, the fifth largest economy in the world, and a population where 70% are under the age of 40. This is a region that is ambitious, agile, and not waiting for permission. And when it comes to AI, something has fundamentally shifted. Through my travels, I have increasingly found that AI is no longer a conversation happening within the technology teams alone. It has now moved into the boardroom. Business leaders are asking what AI means for growth, productivity, and competitiveness. Not in the future, but now. And the data is clear. In the latest Work Trend Index, which is Microsoft's annual research to understand how AI is reshaping the workplace, the data shows that 28% of workers in ASEAN qualify as frontier professionals. Put simply, these are employees who use AI as part of their daily workflows, and strikingly, this figure is nearly double the global average. What this tells me is simple. People across the region are already using AI in meaningful ways. But the question that matters is, can we turn that individual momentum into true organizational transformation? This is where the gap still exists. I often describe this region as one ASEAN with many realities. Singapore ranks amongst the leading AI economies globally. And across ASEAN, markets like Malaysia and Thailand are accelerating quickly. But beyond individual country progress, ASEAN has something more fundamental working in its favor. One of our defining advantages is the ability to bring together government, industry, academia, and enterprise with real intent. That kind of public-private cohesion is rare. And it matters because transformation at this scale does not happen in silos. When these parts move together, progress accelerates, adoption deepens, and outcomes are more inclusive across markets. In fact, in several ASEAN countries, AI is now a national agenda. In Singapore, AI skilling is embedded in national policy through the National AI Strategy 2.0. In Malaysia, we are working with the government through programs like Elevate to build workforce readiness at scale. And across the region, there is a clear understanding of one thing. Deploying technology is only half the challenge. The other half is ensuring People are ready. That is why skilling is becoming such a priority across ASEAN and why Microsoft has invested so significantly in AI training across the region. What makes ASEAN particularly interesting is that we are seeing many organizations move beyond AI experimentation and into business transformation. These are what we call as frontier firms, organizations that are using AI not as a standalone technology project, but as a capability embedded across the business to improve productivity, accelerate decision making, and create new growth opportunities. And we're already seeing this emerge across Southeast Asia. Let me bring this to life with a few examples. Singtel, one of the region's leading telecommunications companies, is embedding AI across its businesses, from network operations to customer experience to enterprise services. This is not experimentation at the edges. It is a deliberate shift to re-architect how the business operates and competes for the future. This is backed by long-term partnership aligned with Singapore's national AI strategy. Singtel is using AI to drive both operational efficiency and competitive advantage. Another example is SCBX in Thailand, one of the region's most forward-looking financial technology groups. Using Microsoft Azure as a foundation for its AI strategy, SCBX is transforming how work gets done across its businesses. One of its group companies is AutoX, which is using AI to strengthen compliance, support frontline employees, and streamline key processes. Together, they demonstrate how AI can be embedded into the operational core of the business, not just customer-facing experiences, and how established institutions can reinvent themselves for the AI era. In the Philippines, the Department of Education is exploring how AI-powered tools such as Reading Coach and Reading Progress can help strengthen literacy outcomes at scale, with the potential to impact more than 24 million students across the country. This initiative demonstrates how technology can empower the broader education ecosystem, supporting educators, personalizing learning experiences, and expanding access to quality education. While these organizations operate in different markets and different sectors, the underlying lesson is remarkably consistent. The most successful transformations are not defined by the technology department alone. They are driven by organizations that focus relentlessly on outcomes, build a culture that embraces learning and change, and have leaders who are committed to driving transformation from the top. Across our work with customers, we see four clear areas where AI is creating value. First, it helps employees do their best work. AI can take on routine tasks, support faster decision making, and give people more time to focus on higher value work. Second, it helps organizations engage customers in more personalized and meaningful ways using data and AI to better understand needs, respond faster, and create stronger experiences. Third, it helps businesses reshape the way work gets done. And this means redesigning processes so AI can support the repetitive and tactical work while teams focus on outcomes. For example, Petronas is harnessing AI across its value chain to unlock new levels of operational efficiency, strengthen sustainability performance, and improve decision-making at scale. The goal is not simply to automate processes, but to reimagine how work gets done, creating a more agile, intelligent, and resilient organization. And fourth, it helps accelerate innovation. With tools like GitHub Copilot and Visual Studio Code, more people can turn ideas into solutions faster and regardless of the technical background. This is the real promise of AI: better experiences for employees, stronger engagement with customers, smarter business processes, and a faster path from idea to innovation. That brings me to the tension I want to name today. ASEAN has strong fundamentals, government support, investment, talent momentum. So why are so many organizations still not seeing the transformation at scale? Let me put that question to you directly. We have a poll in the chat right now. Has your organization redesigned how work gets done because of AI? Or are you still layering AI into existing processes? Take a moment and share your view. Because the data we are seeing is striking. 79% of AI users in ASEAN say they fear falling behind if they do not adapt. And yet, 49% say it feels safer to stay focused on current goals rather than redesign work with AI. So while the intent to transform is strong, the reality of execution is more complex. There is still a pull towards business as usual. Now, there is some good news. 27% of AI users in this region say they are rewarded for reinvention, even when it does not immediately produce results. That is significantly higher than the global average. So the willingness to experiment exists. But here is the critical point. The number one driver of AI impact is organizational. Culture, leadership, and talent practices drive more than twice the impact of any individual factor. So you can have a capable workforce, and in ASEAN, I would argue we do. But without the right systems, the impact will plateau. The organizations that are pulling ahead have made a deliberate shift. They are capturing how AI is used, scaling what works, and embedding it into how the business runs. That is what separates adoption from transformation. And ultimately, it comes down to a leadership choice. This is what this week is designed to help you with. Frontier Transformation Week runs across 4 days, each building on the last. Today, we focus on the bigger picture, what transformation looks like, what leadership demands, and why this is the moment to act. Day 2 looks at how you build the skills and security foundations to scale AI responsibly. Day 3 explores what changes when AI becomes embedded into operations. And on day 4, we go deeper into where leading organizations are seeing the greatest impact across employee experience, customer engagement, business process, and innovation. Each day brings perspectives from business leaders, as well as conversations with customers from this region. Feel free to attend as many sessions as your schedule allows. This event also includes dedicated sessions for tech practitioners and developers. So please share the event with any colleagues who may be interested. Let me close with this. ASEAN has the conditions that many regions are still working towards: government commitment, industry alignment, a young, capable workforce that is already engaging with AI at scale. But conditions are not outcomes. The organizations that will lead from here are the ones where leaders make a clear choice to build the culture, the skills, and the systems needed to turn adoption into transformation. That is the frontier. In a moment, you will hear about Microsoft's global perspective on what the future holds in store. After that, we will present a fireside conversation with leaders from this region who are making AI transformation real within their organization. I hope you will stay for the conversation. Thank you and enjoy your experience at the Frontier Transformation Week.
AI has captured global attention, but attention alone doesn't change how businesses operate. We're at a moment where we need to ask more of AI, not just to improve efficiency, but to expand what people in organizations can actually do. At Microsoft, we're seeing this shift firsthand as AI moves from curiosity to real capability across our own business. Today, I want to talk to you about the shift we're seeing in leading organizations from interest to experimentation to real business results. We call this frontier transformation. It's the moment AI moves from isolated pilots to an engine that keeps building across the entire business. The first wave of AI focused on efficiency and cost savings. And while that matters, it's not enough. Frontier transformation is about AI doing more. More for your business, more for your people, more for our world. The Frontier Wave is different. It's not just doing the same work faster. It's about new growth, new capabilities, and new outcomes. We're seeing AI drive world-changing impact, from climate intelligence to healthcare breakthroughs to education and scientific discovery. Operation Smile reduced translation errors by 90%. NSF sped up treatment by reducing audit time by 50%. Esri compressed digital climate mapping from 5 months to 24 hours. And Geotech eliminated 2.5 million tons of carbon emissions. These outcomes only happen when AI is part of how work actually gets done, grounded in data you can trust and scaled with purpose. The data shows us this. Frontier firms, organizations that have moved AI from experiment into how they actually operate, are dramatically outperforming their peers. 88% are seeing strong top-line growth compared to the 23% for laggards. But what we hear from leaders goes deeper than this. Not a lack of ideas, but actually a surplus of ideas. Hundreds of AI opportunities, but no clear path to real impact at scale. Bridging that gap takes a clear strategy, one that connects ambition, intelligence, and trust from day one. So how do leading organizations actually do this? We've built a framework based on what frontier firms are doing today, and we use it to guide every AI investment to make sure it drives real business impact. There are 4 pillars. First, enriching employee experiences, automating routine work so people can do what only people can do. Reinventing customer engagement, making interactions more personal, more responsive, and more meaningful. Reshaping business processes, redesigning how work gets done, then letting AI accelerate it. And bending the curve on innovation, scaling AI from a few pilots to a durable production capability. And this isn't just theory, it's what we see frontier firms doing every single day. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. Children International created an agent in just 2 days that increased direct child interventions by 25% without increasing budget. Alaska Airlines embedded AI directly into their service workflows. Customer planning time dropped 75% and guest satisfaction reached 90%. Levi's redesigned how work gets done first, then embedded AI into it. Innovation cycles compressed from months to weeks. Productivity in finance-heavy workloads increased 97%. Accenture built a centralized enterprise AI platform designed with trust from the start. Build time dropped by half, costs fell 20%, and more than 75% of generative AI use cases are now live. Different industries, different starting points, but the same pattern. So what makes the difference? Why do some organizations move from pilots to outcomes while others stall? It comes down to 2 fundamentals. There's a lot of debate around what matters most in AI. Some say models, some say infrastructure. But what we believe that matters is this: intelligence. AI that actually understands how your business works. And trust. The security, governance, and observability that lets you scale without losing control. Without trust, intelligence fragments. Without intelligence, trust has nothing to protect. Frontier firms don't treat these as trade-offs. They design for both from day one. Start with intelligence. Every organization will run on a distributed ecosystem of agents, and the real differentiator won't be the interface people see. It will be the intelligence behind it. The intelligence is what is unique to you. Your data, your workflows, your knowledge, and how your business actually runs. AI should amplify that, not replace it. Microsoft IQ is how you put that intelligence to work. A shared real-time understanding of your business. It powers both your people and your agents. So agents move from answering questions to making decisions and taking action. Microsoft IQ brings together 4 layers that give agents a shared understanding of your business. WorkIQ understands how work happens: people, content, meetings, messages, and workflows. FabricIQ understands the business itself, your data, semantics, and the logic that runs operations. FoundryIQ activates enterprise knowledge, documents, policies, and unstructured content. And lastly, WebIQ connects agents to the broader world, bringing in current information, market signals, public knowledge, and the web-scale context when needed. Together, these components let agents reason with real business context, combining what's happening in your organization, what your business knows, and what's happening in the world around it to drive more informed actions and decisions. When intelligence is shared, innovation spreads. Frontier firms don't centralize AI in a small expert group. They put the power to build in every role. Business users, analysts, operators, and developers, all able to build, extend, and improve AI inside the tools they already use on one platform, from low-code to pro-code. And innovation happens closest to the problem, not removed from it. IT stays in control without becoming a bottleneck. But adopting agents at scale without visibility does introduce risk. Frontier firms design for trust from day one, because at scale, you have to understand what your AI is doing. Observability, so leaders can see what agents or actions they're taking. Security, extending identity, access, and protection to every agent. Governance, with policies, boundaries, and accountability built in. Trust isn't assumed, it's engineered. And when trust is engineered, not bolted on, it becomes an accelerant. Teams don't have to stop and ask for permission at every step because the guardrails are already in place. It also gives you real choice without compromising security, compliance, or control. Intelligence and trust designed to work together at enterprise scale. Microsoft 365 Copilot in the flow of work. Copilot Studio and GitHub Copilot for every builder. Microsoft IQ as the intelligence layer, with Foundry, Fabric, and Azure as the foundation. And Agent 365 as the control plane. Security, governance, and observability across the entire stack. So let me close with what has always grounded us at Microsoft: our mission to empower every person in every organization on the planet to achieve more. That mission has never been more relevant. Frontier transformation is how we turn that mission into a reality at a level we haven't seen before, moving beyond an experimentation to systems that scale, drive growth, and unlock potential across your entire organization. So push us, partner with us, put us to work on the challenges that matter the most to you. Because this isn't just about what AI can do, it's about what you can do with it. And together we can shape what comes next. Thank you so much.
Hi, Wen. Thank you for joining us today in the Frontier Week here that we are launching at Microsoft. Really excited to talk to you today.
Thank you, Iman. Thank you for having me, and absolutely excited to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Look, we've been working together for the last 18 months, and it has been a really great roller coaster. But before we dive in, give us 30-second version of what's GenSpark and what was the ambition behind when you started it.
Absolutely, Iman. So GenSpark is a Palo Alto-based technology company. We build AI agents for the 1 billion plus global knowledge workers. Essentially, when we saw this new wave of AI breakthroughs, all of our team members basically got this notion that the world is different now. In the past, basically, we human beings are the production engine. We work on documents, spreadsheets, presentations, emails, meeting notes, hands-on. We craft all of these things word by word, pixel by pixel. Now, we see an opportunity to really help many of the knowledge workers to skip through all of these grunt work, busy work, and really have that opportunity to, think strategically and being creative instead of letting the busy work take up all of our time. So we essentially set forth the journey to work on a platform that would allow us to essentially turn a power of AI into, AI agents.
Amazing, amazing. And look, the first time when we met, you were a 40-person team. Now you're a 70-person team. You went from 0 to 250 million ARR in less than 12 months, right? And when we spoke last week, we reached 6,000 enterprise customers in 5 months. This is incredible. GenSpark grew differently when you did not start by selling to these enterprises. Although you have now 6,000 enterprise customers, you didn't start selling to them. Employees started using GenSpark, and then they talked to their bosses and management, and hence you went into enterprise. Walk us through this. This is an incredible journey that the first time you met me and explained it, I was blown away.
Thank you for that question, Iman. Yeah, exactly as you said. So when we first launched our AI Workspace 1.0 last April 25, we really built it for people just like you and me, because we know our lives intrinsically. We know that day to day we spend a lot of time on copy and pasting the same piece of business contacts from meeting notes to emails to Teams messages and so on. And we saw an opportunity of making changes to that. So then we built out the platform really just for individuals. By summertime, a lot of corporations started reaching out to us, calling us. That would be like the PE firms in Japan, investment banks from London, oil and gas companies from Bogota, Colombia, government agencies from Dubai, UAE, and yeah, a lot of other businesses here in the U.S. So basically, all the leadership teams and IT teams were telling us how their employees used our product, and then they loved it so much so that they pushed it to the leadership to ask for, the leadership to procure the solution for them. At that time, we didn't actually have a business solution because our clients were asking for, centralized billing, SSO, SOC 2, Type 2, all the good stuff. That is when we decided to get into the efforts to really build it out. And we launched GenSpark for Business right before Thanksgiving last year. Within 6 months, actually, we got to about 6,000 business clients. Out of the 6,000 business clients, we do have some smaller and medium businesses. We also have enterprise clients. And, yeah, we benefited tremendously from the product-led growth motion. It's all bottoms up. We only just hired our first chief revenue officer 2 weeks ago. So we're absolutely committed to get into the enterprise world. But, yeah, so far we've been very fortunate. We built something that people love, and then they just pushed it to their leadership teams.
And we are fortunate to partner with you in this incredible journey. It's such a pleasure to work with you with your agility and speed, reach into enterprises and reach into consumers as well. Now, when we talk about enterprise AI, and this has been the conversation for the last 2 years as well, I call them science projects when they have AI pilots. And let's be clear, it's a difficult conversation to make, but many enterprise AI pilots have gone nowhere. There is a lot of burnt trust out there of, okay, I tried AI, but it didn't go anywhere. So what was different about GenSpark that made it actually stick?
From my observation, Iman, it's really a lot of times we see success out of the real use cases and the real value. So it's not just about kicking off a pilot, to your point. It's really about having the mindset of what are we trying to accomplish from a business standpoint. That's the start point. And then you apply the technologies onto the problems and then get the ROI. So for many of the customers that we've worked with, number one, we benefited from the fact that many of these leading organizations, forward-thinking organizations, they allow their employees to try new things, to try AI products that they like. They don't just push tools onto their employees. They allow people to try things, and some of them even put money behind it. They were like, every month, $50, $100, that's your AI money. Go spend it, and then pick the right tool for your own work. And then it bubbles up, exactly like what we just talking about. When people love something like a GenSpark platform, they would push it to the leadership team saying that, I've been able to accelerate the workflow for myself, and then I believe we need this. So that is exactly what happened with all of these amazing partners we've had. A lot of times we also see that leadership matters, right? So one of our other leading flagship clients, the CEO of this company, his name is Miguel, he's based in Miami. He is a power user of GenSpark himself. And then in their annual sales conference, he onboarded 500 executives himself. They have tens of thousands of employees around the globe, and that matters. Leadership matters. Imagine the leaders tell the team members and employees, say, hey, you go use AI, versus, hey team, this is how I'm using AI. That makes a huge difference. So the leadership impact, I'd say, is beyond POCs. POCs are absolutely so very important. We go through POCs with a lot of other flagship clients, and then the way that it could work through successfully is really that you have to have clear goals in the very beginning. We ask our client success team to make sure of that, and then we work hand in hand with our clients to build it out together. It's about the solution, it's about the value, it's about the business value, not just about getting started with a POC.
Yeah, that's amazing, and I'm loving it. It's music to my ear. Now, when you go to enterprises, and we've spoken about that so many times, you had to be enterprise ready fast, right? That's where Microsoft's partnership, and in fact, for the audience here, Genspark and us, we have a global strategic partnership across the world working together. Now, your whole stack runs on Azure. You use Foundry to query your model. How did this partnership let you scale to large enterprises and meet their bar on security, on governance, on trust, and everything else?
It's such a great question, man. I'd say it really comes in two folds. One is the technology, the other is the business. I'll talk about the technology first. So to your point, our entire tech stack is based off Microsoft Azure. We as a company, we have a 3-layered technology architecture. We sit on top of 70-plus state-of-the-art models. We query models from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and all the open-weight model providers like Fireworks, Fal, and so on and so forth. So we built the world's first mixture of agents tech architecture to orchestrate the models. And to do that, being able to work with Microsoft Foundry is extremely important, right? So having access to all the amazing models is absolutely important. On top of that, we've built 150-plus in-house tools because we understand LLMs, they're smart. They have raw intelligence, but that is not enough to bridge the gap between the intelligence and real-world deliverables. You can't build a boardroom-ready presentation slide deck with just the LLMs. What you need is being able to orchestrate all models, build the tools that the models would need. For example, visualize the data and then put the chart back on instead of trying to generate image of data visualization. All of these good stuff, they have to be packaged up and then put onto a very reliable, enterprise-ready technology kind of a foundation or cloud infra, and that is Microsoft Azure for us. And I'll give you one example. So when OpenClaw framework came out beginning of this year, everybody went nuts. Like, clearly, the form factor of how AI is going to interact with human beings is now forever changed. Before, it's human beings go to AI. You type in a URL, and then you go to AI. Now AI could follow us everywhere we go. It could be Microsoft Teams. It could be WhatsApp. It could be anything. But to do that, I'm a mechanical engineer by training. I don't know how to set up a Mac Mini and run Node.js scripts and then become my own IT team. That is a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of energy. I'm not a hobbyist myself. I just want to click a button and it just runs for me. So because of Microsoft Azure, we were able to spin up Genspark Claw in 5 weeks. We released a whole new product, Genspark Claw, based off Microsoft Azure virtual machines. And then we're now capable of just providing you an enterprise-grade virtual machine on Microsoft Azure. So that is because we can only do that because we don't have to worry about the infrastructure. We don't have to worry about virtual machines. We can focus on building the products.
You bring the innovation, speed, agility, and AI transformation. We bring the platform, we bring the marketplace, and we bring the ecosystem for a strategic partnership that goes beyond just technology. So it's really exciting to see that. And thank you for your trust on Microsoft and on our partnership globally. One last question: when we have so many leaders watching us right now, some of them feel behind, right? So what would you tell them, and what's the first move you tell them to make this week itself?
I would say maybe a couple of things. I say that to say that it's important for leaders to internalize how you can actually benefit from AI in order to encourage and empower your team to really understand how to turn these new technology capabilities into value. It's not about cost saving. It's not about shaving headcounts. It's not about that. It is about accelerating deal cycles. It is about getting a lot more done. I'll give you one example here. So we work with some of the top advertisement agencies in the world. In the past, when they pitch the major brands for a 90-second commercial video, kind of a video thing, they would walk into the meeting with the static storyboards with pictures and words, and then clients would have to use their imagination to understand what's going on, how the video is going to look like. Today, they basically just ask GenSpark, directly say, hey, here's the brand, here's the campaign, give me 3 ideas. Hey, GenSpark, turn the 3 ideas into frame-by-frame scenes. Hey, GenSpark, create that video clips for me and then put it all together, production level. And in the bidding meetings, they would just show the clients the videos. Which one do you like? Oh, that one? Okay, I'll swap the main player's face with Brad Pitt in the real shooting. All of these things are not possible before GenSpark or this wave of AI breakthroughs, because it could have cost them millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to put each prototype video together. That's just not possible. Weeks of time, if not months. Now, it's done in days, and yes, you burn tokens, but it's a few $100, a few $1,000s max. But then you really get into those opportunities, and projects used to take a long time. Now it's done in days. And I've heard from executives from these companies, if we don't do this, if we walk into the client meetings with a static storyboard, we don't even get to pitch the client. You miss out on the opportunities. So I would say it's truly the urgency of getting onto the opportunities, leveraging AI, because everybody is. If you don't do it, you're absolutely left behind. And second thing I would quickly say here is put money behind your team members and employees to let them have the free rein to use AI, to turn AI into value. I'm not saying just hands-free. It's important to tell the stories of how AI expert on your team being able to take advantage of some of the most advanced tools and then turn them into business values. It's important to share stories like that internally, because that's just helps people to really understand what's going on out there and being able to get onto these technologies themselves. A leader could only do so much. So let your people have the freedom to try it and put money behind it.
Awesome. My final question, Wen, and I would have loved to talk to you for the whole day, but where does GenSpark go from here? And from your, AI thought leadership as a founder and a serial entrepreneur as well, what does the enterprise AI landscape look like in 2 years if agentic first becomes a standard?
So first off, Iman, predicting the future is hard, but we just all probably saw the article Satya published on LinkedIn and on X. I think we see the world exactly as how he sees it, right? We're just getting started here. Building the technology is step 0. Handing the technology to the client is step 1. And then enabling the customers, the clients, to all the enterprise, the different teams within the enterprises to turn that technology into business values, enable the adoption, enable the true values, the return of investments. Those are what the actual work is. I think that is we're just getting started on all of these amazing stuff.
Wen, really excited about the journey ahead with you and the strategic partnership. What's your final call for action?
Likewise, Iman. And yeah, so I would say call your Microsoft representative and ask them about GenSpark. Oh, by the way, GenSpark demo is available at EBC Experience Centers in Microsoft headquarters in Redmond, in Silicon Valley, and also in Singapore.
Thank you so much, Wen. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Iman. Absolutely a pleasure and privilege. Thank you.